Alright, hello everyone. Not sure anyone's watching yet, but if you are, then welcome. Thank you for coming. It's been quite some time since I've played this. But, I always thought it was a really interesting game. And according to Twitch, nobody's been streaming or watching it for a while, so I figured why not. I'll give it a go. And my cat says hello. One of them, anyway. The other one is, napping on the other side of the room somewhere, I'm sure. Alright, Captain's making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. It lies a mile below the surface.
Hi, Kira. I love you, baby.
It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Untersee. Kira, what are you doing, you silly girl? She's sitting here with her head in my elbow. Kira, why do you always wait until I start streaming to come over and start demanding attention?
You silly girl. You silly butt.
Alright, let's see here. Street Urchin gives a bonus to Veil's skill of subtlety and evasion. A Poet gives a bonus to Pages, which is trickery and knowledge. Probably useful. Veteran gives us Iron, skill of causing direct damage. Priest gives us Hearts, the skill of healing and morale. And Philosopher gives us a bonus to Mirrors, the skill of deception and perception. I think I'm gonna go with that one. We will be a natural philosopher. Your peculiar theories on time, blood, and starlight brought you down to the Neath, the cavern where London lies, and now they take you out to Zee. I mean, I guess, since it was Untersee, I'm gonna sort of habitually want to pronounce it Zee, because it seems German, but I'll probably just keep saying... I'll probably try to say C at some point, regardless. Because why not? That's basically what it is. Your acquaintance, the plausible surgeon, will serve as ship's doctor until you find someone better. Talk to him to find out why he went to sea. You're a natural philosopher, and now you're a sea captain. Your a stranger quality is gone. Welcome to the world. You've gained 20 echoes, new total 70, 25 mirrors, new total 50. Now have 1 plausible surgeon, and someone is looking for passage. Kira, you silly girl, what are you doing? What you doing, you silly butt? She's sitting here sniffing my arm. I don't know what...
Kira, I love you, but what are you doing? Big sweetie.
Alright, what does winning mean to you? Search for your father's bones, fulfillment, wealth... or a private kingdom. That one's locked. Let's see here. I think... I don't know. I feel like wealth is probably the most appealing one right now. The Undersea is full of riches, death and darkness too, but it's worth the gamble. To win, gather a substantial retirement fund, upgrade your lodgings to a mansion, and retire. An occurrence, your objective ambition quality is now retire to a life of luxury. Last scrap of paperwork. Captain, an irregularity with the Harbor Master's office. They wish to know, what term of address do you prefer ashore? We'll go with Madam. More sea captains choose this than you might expect. Madam it is. Welcome aboard. Last piece of advice. Explore. Take chances. This captain will probably die. The sea is hungry, but each captain passes on lessons to the next. Alright, let's see. I kind of like that one. Because I like the top hat. I like the sort of, frizzy hair going on as well. I'll take it. And of course, for my name, Emily. Alright, Fallen London, deep, dark, and marvelous. All voyages start here, and this is where successful voyages end. Advice for captains. On endings and beginnings, captains often die. This is not the end. When you die, you'll learn lessons which will help you survive the next time. Beware, the layout of the undersea changes with each new captain, but home waters are stable and islands only move so far. On exploration. Exploration is the heart of the game. Risk brings reward. Staying close to London is safe, but eventually you'll run out of fuel and supplies. Exploring and playing port stories will allow you to find secrets and echoes. I think once I actually encountered a civil war between two different groups of rats. Although I could be imagining things. Maybe they were guinea pigs. I think they were guinea pigs. A civil war between two groups of guinea pigs. Kira, why are you laying on the iPad, you silly butt? Oh, you're such a good kitty. On Mercy, unforgiving mode is how the game is meant to be played. One autosave updated whenever you reach port and wiped on death. If you're getting frustrated or want a more leisurely exploration, you can switch to merciful mode. Go on. Actually, hang on, what was that? Saving and loading manually will permanently switch your character to merciful mode. This will remove the Invictus token. Leading game with the Invictus token is a badge of honor. Well, it's one that I highly doubt I will ever achieve. Granted, I don't think we're actually gonna finish the game. Just thought it might be interesting to play around with for a while. On finding places to explore, use your Seabat Scout. Technically, it's a chiropteroscope, but we're among friends here. On fighting, when your enemy is in the arc of your guns, you'll see the firing solution. The glow around the fire buttons increase. When it's complete, let them have it. You can fire earlier if you like, but may miss. Pardon me. Larger ships may have access to different gun slots. On stories, when you put into port, you can generally explore and exhaust the story options until your next visit. If you have the something awaits you quality when at sea, pardon me. You know that more story is waiting for you when you make port. It'll crop up whenever you're sailing around. If you see a flavor message like distant bells, that means you have something awaits. I did always wonder what that meant. Let's see, on terror. Terror increases gradually over time while you're out at sea, away from land. Watch the skull. Oh, right here, up in the corner here. When you see orange or red pips, terror will bump up if you spend much longer in the frightening place. Many events will increase it too. We'll add new stories to the game from time to time. You can download them from the main menu. That's news. I wasn't aware of that. Sell this book. You're a veteran captain. Require no more advice. Very well, then. Go ahead. Sell it. London. She's the greatest city in the undersea, and don't you forget it. Visit the Admiralty Surveys office. They'll pay for information from sea captains. Find out what and how. The Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligence networks are long gone. The survey office pays sea captains a small sum for recent information. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them in here. The first time you trade in a port report, you'll gain the Admiralty's favor. Ask if there's anything in particular they need. Well, if we can be assured of your discretion. Speak to our agent there and return. We'll see what you're awarded. Visit the port below and return to London. You can check details in your journal at any time. Retrieve, I can read. Retrieve strategic information from the Iron and Misery Company funging station. Funging station. Somewhere not far from home waters. Speak to a higher authority. Do you have an appointment? Not as such. Once you've proven yourself, perhaps. Out into the foggy street. Turn your collar up. We can't visit the university. We do not have enough secrets or favors, I suppose. We can't carouse in the Wolfstack docks. We can hire on more crew. We've almost got a full crew. We've lost 30 Echo and gained 3 crewmen. Well, we would have had to turn one of them away, wouldn't we? Offer passage to a tomb colonist. That's usually a pretty good way to do things. Ah, I should have gotten that one. Oh well, too late. Someone in the docks wishes to board your ship. Agree to carry the August travel writer to Gator's Morn. He's prepared to pay handsomely for transport and is keen to commission your ship specifically. Alright, fine. The August travel writer shakes your hand. His grip is distressingly strong. Thank you, it's Gator's Morn I'm bound for first, he says. I hear they... Ah! He hurries over to your stoker, who is carrying his steamer trunk up the gangplank. No need to trouble yourselves. Give it here. Remember, madam, Gator's Morn. I'll pay you 150 echoes when we arrive. Well, that sounds like good money. Let's see if I can remember any of the controls. Apparently not. Key bindings. Okay. I seem to remember. Ah. There it is. I'm just a dingus. That's right, a dingus. Send out the Seabat with Z. Alright, we're not gonna need that yet. We found the Bad Stevener's Abyss. And Hunter's Keep. And bumped into a buoy. And we discovered Low Barnet. And bumped into another buoy, because I'm not looking where I'm going. Alright, that's fine. It's been a while. Like I said, it's gonna take me some time to get used to things again. I have a map? I do have a map. Why am I not using the map? There we go. If I remember correctly, the best way to get to, a tiny breeze stirs your hair and dies. Discovered Prickfinger Wastes. If I remember correctly, to get to where the tomb colonists wants to go, dust echoes, even a sepia tint to the air. What? Oh, pirates! That's new! Hooray! And then we can sound the all clear. Yeah, like I was saying, I think that the best way to get to where the tomb colonist wants to go is basically just to follow the left side of the map, more or less. You destroyed a pirate steam pinnacle. Pinnace? My goodness, so many words that I am unfamiliar with. Luton Scuttler, she's a vile old vessel and these seas aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Lean pickings. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but there's something in the back of the hold. You finished opening a cache of curiosities. Crates, the source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo. Hardtack and water and an unexpected box of nails. A would-be wit remarks that nails look tastier than the hardtack until an officer's glare silences her. Gain 5 supplies. Great. We're gonna need those. And here we sail past Davies Bay. A row of watchful sea bats hang from a cable. Their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. You've gained a secret. Speak to your officers to improve your abilities. Discovered Carissa's Point. Discovered Horniman's Stag. Slow down, let's talk to the surgeon, can we? Right-click to speak to officer. There we are. Hello, my dear, my dear. Sit down carefully. Just let me tidy away these implements. We don't want any carelessness, do we? My screen's gone black. Excuse me, Kira. I love you, sweetie, but you can't... I need the iPad. I can't use it if you're laying on it. Helps to have in case anybody pops up in the chat. Okay, there we go. Increase your pages. Spending a secret will improve your pages, but no higher than 50. Ask after his desires and ambitions. He's traveled much, seen all manner of wound and malady, but is there anything left for him to discover? Any place he wishes to go? The Shillinet. You know it? They collect corpses. He shifts in his seat. Vast, noble, complicated corpses. What I could learn, what I could see. My dearest Captain, if we ever find ourselves in the Shillinet, I do hope you might see fit to release me from our arrangement. The Shillinet can be found somewhere in the far east of the Untersee. Well, perhaps we should head east at some point. We've lost one secret and gained a page. He likes to sit very close when he speaks, the plausible surgeon. He speaks familiarly of diseases and hauntings as if he knew their first names but chose not to disclose them out of courtesy and discretion. This makes some of his advice confusing, but you do learn intriguing details. Ah, pages, esoteric and occasionally practical knowledge. I like it. If you didn't know, esoteric is one of my favorite words. It's not one that I get to use very often, but it's one of my favorites. Alright, we're coming up on a dock here. At Venderbite. An absent friend. You've brought this decaying immigrant north. Now what? It is everything I imagined, he tells you breathlessly, but there's someone missing. Please bring her to me. A vague commission. She went off to the Mangrove College. She needed to get out of London. Venderbite is just as safe as the college, and I'll wager she's bored of mud by now. Look for the shady sort in the Mangrove College, somewhere in the south of the Untersee. Bring a shady sort to Venderbite from the Mangrove College. You've lost one tomb colonist. That's fine. Hang on, what was that? No. Few die in fallen London, they come here instead. I like it. Provide what you have promised. The tomb colonists of Venderbite have few pleasures remaining. Their new home is an echoing palace of rare dust. Perhaps you can help a little. Perhaps not. On deck, you can hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. It's something like the world's most restless concert audience, or the world's most plague-ridden cathedral. One thing's for sure, this game is very well written. Explore Venderbite. Here they favor candlelight over gas. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned. In wide space behind the hollow temple, you happen across a stepped platform of sorts. 4 statues guard it, marked with glyphs, all but lost to time and idle vandalism. They look a little like the glyphs that decorate the Echo Bazaar in London, though. At the heart of the platform is a long-filled well shaft, too. You poke about briefly, but something in the place makes you uneasy. A frost moth, the size of a farmer's hand, flutters down to perch on the well's edge. Another, a third, you retreat. We've gained 1 terror. Excuse me. Visit the first curator. Sea captains. The first curator gives audience. First curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists, but even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. Well, that didn't really take us anywhere. Oh, we've just started. No more light, the obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door and you step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandaged shape no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. Listen to a whispered request. Sea Captain Silkskin. Not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors, 7 colors. Pay well. Cosmogon, Irigo, Pelican. Steward has list. Find them here and there across the wide Black Sea. Ask about the Grand Sanatorium. One hears the name whispered here and there in the arcade's vendor bite. A long, low chuckling. Oh, Silkskin, you don't want to know. The chuckling becomes a cough. We don't die here below, not unless we go to sea. So we needed something else, somewhere to end. Accept the commission, thank you. This poor flesh thirsts for colors. No more words. It collapses, rustling, back onto the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim illustrated volume. The curator is old as dust. We'll all be grateful if you do it this one last favor. We have gained the Neath Bow. A book for children. 1 page is devoted to each of the colors of the Neath, which are not found on the surface. Awakes Aposion, the blue of memory and brightest coral. A. Okay, A, C, okay. Yeah, for letters. I gotcha. C lights Cosmogon, the color of remembered suns. The fecund, the fetid, the fungal, these flourish in the glow of Cosmogon. G is lost in Gant, which remains when all other colors are eaten. Gant can be found where shadows are myriad. I is for Irigo. No one remembers why. Irigo colors the forgotten corners of home. P drowns in Pelican, the color of the deepest sea. Someone has scrawled in the margin, beyond the gate there is a sea more sunless. V marks violent, when blood is shed in a spired place. Violent ink is employed for the most desperate treaties. Behind your mirror, V names Virik, the color of shallow sleep. Gather gossip. Who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? Along the coast of the Undersea, it is remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. You now have one of this, a port report, vendor bite. Sorry about that, just give me 1 second. Right, now back to it. I apologize for that. Actually, let's look around a little bit. Might be something interesting. Officers, we have a mascot, a comatose ferret. Forgot about that. Mostly it's immobile, occasionally it's feral. It lies across your desk like a lumpy scarf. Play with your ferret, attract its attention. A weary roll of the eye. Play, that eye roll says. Play. I played once in the happy warrens of London before you installed me in this floating coffin and made me eat dried food. Damn your play. It is an eloquent eye roll. Shops. Cobwebbed harbors of antique stone. Arcade of sighs. Here in the solemn bandaged merchants of the colonies trade old coins for brighter things. Fuel might not be the worst idea. See, actually, where is my money? How do I know how much I have? This is an important question. Where are my monies on the screen? Oh, right here in the corner. Okay, I have 70 echoes. Cool. Well, that's not much. Hollow Temple. The image of a long-snouted reptile god still stands in the temple, but now storytellers gather here. Interesting, we could sell some of our secrets and whatnot. The Charnel Lounge. Do you have tomb colonists? Drop them off here for payment. Neat. Shipyard, where we could buy and upgrade our ships. I think we've done about all we can here at Venderbite. Actually. Fed the crew. Journal. Memoirs. Objectives. Here we go. That's our ambition. Retrieve strategic information from the Iron and Misery Company funging station somewhere not far from home waters. I think I have a general sort of idea where that is. This one, I think it said, was to the south. Actually, let's keep going north for now. I mean, this game is all about exploration, so why not? What? Oh, a bat swarm? I don't think we're going to be able to fight off a bat swarm. Turn off the lights for now. Maybe they'll leave us alone eventually. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. We're just taking more damage every time this bat swarm rams into us. Hey, we hit him. Dang it. Okay. Hang on. There we go. We actually killed a bat swarm. Awesome. That's another new thing to me. It's been so long since I played this. And our hull is almost half destroyed. Discovered Sensor's Arch. Here's L to toggle the light. Yep, that makes sense. We can sound the all clear. Bed the crew. And where is this we're coming up on? I noticed that our terror seems to have increased. We found Wither. Our terror is still slowly increasing. A chilly city beside us, waste of salt. Behind the great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. From here, you might almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. Explore the town. Wither is a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. People are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sights tucked away. An intriguing smell. Who'll try? Who'll buy? A street vendor turns skewers on a grill. The mixed scents are nothing like anything sold in London. Try the grilled troglodyte prawns. Huge and pale, their eyes stare bleakly into yours, but they smell fresh. Not bad at all. Tangy and toothsome. Walk on, chewing cheerfully. You've lost 2 terror. New total of 5. Wary. You now have 1 fragment. You have lost 5 hunger. And that's all for now. Gather intelligence. The citizens of Wither enjoy questions, so much so that they always answer a question with another question. They can make intelligence gathering frustrating. Are you asking for any particular reason? At what time of day? Is that your hat? Might it be 6? It could be 6. Eventually you cobble together enough implication and supposition to create a report. Shore leave and wither. The folk of Wither are quiet and sly and mystical. They subsist on cave fish and the dust-burrowing beasts of the waste. Their beer, however, is adequate. Unlocked with Terror of 1 and 50 echoes. That could be rather expensive. Your Veil's quality gives you a 75% chance of success. I'll take it. We succeeded! Hooray! Keep a low profile. Your crew follow your example faithfully. One drinks a little too much pale withern beer and has to be fished from the harbor, but they spend a relatively decorous night gambling for salt and bone and return refreshed. Alright, so that's about all we can do here, unless we bought more fuel, but for that we would have to use sea stories, of which we have none. Discovered the Odinson Straits. And maybe we do need the light. Okay, so I don't think we can go any further north. With that in mind... Oh, hey. Those things aren't fun. Green glass and basalt. Salt and silence. Go away, Lifeberg. I don't want you. I just want to head back towards London. Turn my light back on. We fed the crew again. Or did I turn the light back on? Yeah, okay. Not sure what my plan is from here, but figure that there are worse ideas than heading back to London. Or at least heading in the direction of London. Something drifts face down. Is that what this is? We have entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. A bat swarm defeated. Little leathery corpses lie scattered across your deck. The rest of the swarm vanishes into the neathy dark. Gather up the corpses. They are succulent with stolen blood. Into the pot. Sure. I'll take some terror for food. Those little bones are troublesome and the flesh a little gamey, but salt them well enough and they're quite edible. Good enough for me! Dust echoes, even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. And more bats! Very pushy bats. Bonk. We are getting very low on fuel. We're down to 3. At least, we're not going to run out of supplies. Not anytime soon. I think we might be able to buy more fuel at a vendor bite. Sailor is praying. Yeah, because our terror is going up. Might be able to afford a little more fuel. Yeah, just one more. So Venderbite obviously means we're close to London. It's never too far north. excuse me, Fallen London. This is a fun fact. There actually was a text-based online game called Fallen London, which I messed around with for a little while, but I admittedly didn't commit to it very hard. But I saw the trailer for this and I thought that it looked really cool, and I saw that I saw somebody said that it had some Lovecraftian qualities. So that's what attracted me to it. Can I actually sail over that? Because it doesn't look like land. Yeah. The air trembles, a breath of change passes. Home waters, sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. Luckily, there actually is a lot of light over here, which means that, I don't have to worry too much about terror. There are no islands within the sea bat's range. Well, I'm gonna call bollocks on that. There have to be islands within the sea bat's range. There's a couple pretty much right next to London. The lights of London welcome you home. This storylet only appears when you've been at sea for a little while. Collect messages from the Harbor Master, all the clatter and song of the dockside. It soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? Let's see. Something has changed in the Neath. Another day, time the healer. Your time at sea will change you and London. Someone wants to sign on. That's all for now. Another day, a free evening. The Rose Market bustles on Roser's Wharf. Who will be there today? A little gift. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My what you might call mentor is very fond of adventurous sea captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation, on account of he's so fond of sea captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the dock stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. Inquire further. Who is this patron? Is there a catch? An airy wave. He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patronized by sailors and by men of wit and vinegar. A public house. And there's no obligation to speak of. My patron would hope only that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose that if the opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, then I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. Sure, why not? Let's take it. A courteous nod. Oh, good, he gave me fuel. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps one day you might choose to call on him at the Medusa's Head. Should that day come, we will make you very welcome and give you any safe conduct that you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. A shadowy figure has made you an offer. You now have one menace, suspicion. Oh, you rapscallion. This will increase as you conduct criminal activities or have contact with rough sorts. The higher your suspicion, the more fiercely the excise will search your ship. Tell the Admiralty about Venderbite. What have the nearly dead been up to, then? Gain 10 echoes, the Admiralty's favor, and fuel. Tell them about Wither. I refuse to ask any questions. I don't want to give them the satisfaction. Gain 20 echoes, another favor, and more fuel. Still can't speak to the higher authority. And visit the university, though. The university has an inexhaustible appetite for secrets, sea specimens, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. Provide a secret to prove yourself worthy of entry. Find secrets by locating locations of interest or in foreign ports. Quite impressed. Oh yes, the university's maritime liaison whispers breathily. Oh yes, this is quite a tasty one. Let me explain it to you. He explains, teeth glinting. You've lost one secret. A twist in your tail. You are now an antiquarian. You've gained 1 pages. The alarming scholar is mercurial to say the least. A creature of sudden moods and provoking teeth. Possibly her. Is it her? Appointment as University Maritime Liaison was precautionary. To keep his, is it his? Razor-sharp enthusiasm from causing too many injuries in the facility. Ah yes, the scholar whispers breathily. I have a budget for acquisitions. What have you brought me? If you have any knowledge items the scholar will buy, they'll appear below. Doesn't appear that I have anything. You have business to attend to, and besides, the scholar keeps snapping his teeth like a maniacal trap. Visit the Rose Market. It bustles on Roser's Wharf. Perhaps you can find a buyer for some of the curiosities you found at sea. I don't think we found anything yet. Pardon me. The Rose Market caters to collectors and eccentrics, anyone with exotic tastes and the gumption to harass sea captains. According to the archaic rules of the market, you can only make 1 trade per visit. Choose wisely. People at the Rose Market will pay above the usual price for specific goods. Escort some interested acquaintances to the Rose Market. They hope to make a satisfying trade. Will usher in a new day at the Rose Market and perhaps new buyers. Sure, why not? Puppet plays press on uninterrupted. Personal collections grow. Words written in fogged mirrors are hastily wiped away. The exotic exchanges pollinate dreams. Well, there goes my free evening. It would seem... Can we get this new recruit? I mean, I wouldn't think we could. I don't think we have enough space. And our crew is full. Now, let's see. This one requires 50 echoes. We don't have enough. That one also requires 50 echoes. And that's just sailors. I did notice that one of them was the Haunted Doctor, though. So that's... I find that vaguely amusing. Visit the Admiralty fuel stores, Leadbetter and Stainrod shipyard. I can't afford to have my ship repaired. You may call in some of your Admiralty favors to have cheap, good quality work done on your ship. This will completely repair your hull. That's actually a good one. Or employ Ratus Faber engineers. The Rats of Fallen London are remarkably skilled engineers and they know ships well. They are not, however, reliable. Payment is in kind, not currency. This will repair some of your hull. How much? Difficult to say. Unlocked with no more than 0 wretched Mog. Unlocked with 3 supplies. Okay, that's a little... That's not what I was expecting. Unlocked with hull no more than 74. You have 40. Yeah, we'll go for it. We'll hire the Rats. You were unlucky. Better luck next time. Well, shit. Rats sweep over your ship like tide. Day and night their tiny tools click. Your crew step over them cautiously. Unfortunately, some complex rat vendetta is at play here. Warring rat families decide to use your ship as a battleground. They're quite well behaved about it, and the damage is minimal. But an unfortunate passing sailor gets a rat bullet through the eye and drowns in the Thames. You protest, but the contract is clear. There is an exception for ocular perturbations. Oh, hey. They fully repaired our ship, though. And we gained 10 terror, lost 1 crew, and 5 supplies. I thought I was... Excuse me, rats. Our contract was for 3. Who awaits your attention? A new recruit. Alright, I just looked at that one. Consider a specialist surgeon. She is staying at a respectable boarding house near the docks and has made it known that she is available for work. I specialize in amputations. It's easy to acquire unwanted appendages at sea. Employ the Clattery Air. Her talents could be well employed on your vessel. who increases hearts and iron. As opposed to this fella, who increases hearts and pages. Okay. I wonder if that would replace the surgeon. Or the, yeah, the plausible surgeon. I wonder if that would replace him. She comes with a bag full of knives and her own personal sharpening stone. Don't touch these. Don't let anyone else touch them. Appoint your new officer by dragging her to the officers tab to her, or from the officers tab to her slot at the top of the screen. Do this in port, not at sea, or you may unsettle your crew. Head to my lodgings. Read the morning papers. The Unexpurgated Gazette, the magazine formerly known as the London Magazine, the Spriteful Trumpeter News. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The Traitor Empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbladder wasps. You now have one recent news, and lost one terror. I can't rest because I don't have any echoes. Oh well. What's waiting for you in London? Probably nothing I haven't already looked at, seems like. Suppose I would have to replace you with her. Yeah, it's hearts plus 6. And iron plus 6. I don't think I can make you anything. Nope. Well, alright then. Shall we head south? Speaking of we, how's everybody doing? Don't know if you're, as amused by this as I am, but personally, I've always found this game rather interesting. And I really should play it more. I do like when the music kicks in like that. I wish it would happen more, though. Luminescent beasts like eyeless dolphins play in your wake. We found an auroral megalops. Excuse you, crab. With a forlorn and wailing cry, the megalops turns on its back, legs neatly folded as bluish blood gouts from its wounds. Its golden glow begins to dim. Let's dissect it. A crab full of conundrums. You set to work with your knives and acids. It is an undistinguished adolescent specimen, a megalops of one of the deep-sea crab species. But its eyes, normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. The golden glow is almost gone now, although sparks leap now and then to your knife. Succeeded in a page's challenge. You've gained 25 fragments. Close the gazetteer. Discovered Quaker's Haven. Yes, speak to. Proposition the Clatterier. Interesting. She works with 2 scalpels at a time. Or with a scalpel and a tined instrument, pinning open the flesh she's working on. Her operations are brisk and yield very little blood. What is hearts? I can never remember. Can I see my info? Can I find out what hearts are for? Oh, there they go. Inspire, heal, defend. Sometimes helps with tests around terror. So that's not actually a bad thing. Invite her to dine with you. Does she wield a fork the way she wields a surgical knife? Precise bite sizes. The cooked flesh arrives still in its shell. From the claws, 8 legs, body, and head, she renders a dozen neat, bite-sized piles of shredded flesh, sutured with mushroom or pinned together with a needle of chitin. Perhaps she has missed a calling as a chef. She denies it. My mother was the child of a surgeon in the first city. You might say that knife work runs in the family. There's a wicked, quirking smile at the corner of her mouth. Then there are rumors about my father. She would deny there's any truth to those. We've lost one supply, and our learning about the clattery air quality is now exclamation point. You've grown closer. Is that safe? I'm gonna hope so. Sure, let's increase our hearts. It's a straight trade, one of your best discoveries for one of hers. It's not hard to drive the bargain. She sits back at dinner after dinner and tells you this. Most people think that the hard part of surgery is finding what's wrong and taking it out, but any fool could do that. A ship's cook with a cleaver can have that part of the job. The hard part is cutting so you can sew it all back up again afterwards. And she demonstrates on a shark fin, leaving it in a better condition than it started. But say, did our sea bat ever come back? We found Quaker's Haven. There are no islands in the sea bat's range. You know, ooh, a fallen stone. Now and then rocky fragments fall from the roof of the Neath. The decks of older ships are pocked with scars. The sound is one no landlubber knows, and no sailor will ever forget. This one has smashed the glass of a deck pinnacle. Ill omen, one sailor cries. The god in the roof, Storm, is angry. We can do nothing. Storm, one of the 3 nameless gods of the sea, an absurd superstition. We can make a sacrifice to avert misfortune. In the stories, Storm is the noisiest, angriest, and least reasonable of the sea gods. Better not take chances. We only have 4 supplies, but I feel like not making the sacrifice is going to be a bad idea. A simple rite. Your sailors know the words. You mumble them. A gift of wine and fish is suitable, marked with the captain's blood. Bound with copper wire and cast overboard from the bow. The package bobs for a moment and then is sucked beneath the ship. You know something of the 3 gods of the sea. You now have the gods of the sea, Storm's attention. You've lost 1 supply and 1 terror. Less terror is always good. Well, we have a new location, some distance to the south. Pardon me. Butcher it for supplies. Crew will feast. That glowing flesh is unstable. It crisps and withers as the glow fades, so eat while it's fresh. Well, our hunger's down, so that's probably good. Sound the all clear. We've discovered the Cumin Canal. And the Albertine Gates. I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, the Cumin Canal, or the Cumaean Canal, however you should pronounce it, would have led to the above, to the world above. Outside of the Neath. Blue lightnings crawl leisurely up the tunnel. St. Erasmus dancing, the cry goes up. Discovered Giannotti Harbor. I don't think we can actually go through the gates, so we will check out the harbor, though. Here, the dark waters run down from the surface from a brighter sea. The Cumaean Canal staging area. The canal ascends through locks and gates and shadowed turns to the sunlight of the surface. We could travel to the surface if we had 22 fuel. Listen to surface gossip. The ships of the surface linger here. This is their lifeline to a warmer place. We now have one vision of the surface. This would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop. The interests of the Echo Bazaar, the laws of London prevent it. They don't like competition. Still, there are temporary half-legal hostelries and long-moored ships. Here you trade stories with suntanned surface sailors. Stories of Paris and Batavia, the lost fires in the final isles. Gather information for a port report. Many ships pass this way, but you'll perhaps pick up something they missed. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe in all the undersea, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping the way open. We have a perfunctory port report. Wonder how different that is from a regular port report. Oh right, we don't have any echoes. What was I thinking? Alright. Off we go! Fly away, my little sea bat. There are no islands within the sea bat's range. Really, there's no good reason to play this game without just throwing out the sea bat at every available opportunity. Like just as soon as the cooldown's over. Pardon me. At least we have plenty of fuel. Sizzling vapors rise from the sea. Time slips sideways. A coil of rope has stung a stoker, and his fellows beat it to death. We are under the hand of the Iron Republic. The waves are cluttered with sea wreck like drowned hair drifting. Discovered the Iron Republic. Discovered Kugel's Bluff. Can probably turn off our light here. It appears fairly well illuminated. Oh right, I knew there was some reason why the light was important. It actually uses more fuel if you keep the light on all the time. Iron Republic, Hell's client state. Be wary, their laws are not the laws of man or nature. Factory engines roar like false lions. Blood thunders in the dock pipes. Crimson lightning skitters across the deck, leaps to the rail, curls there like a cat. The city is reflected in glassy, calm harbor water. The citizens here have the heads of dogs and serpents. Hell has brought freedom to the Iron Republic. Freedom from all laws, even those of nature. Our terror is not high enough to listen. We don't have enough coin to do most other things. Market of Hungers, the Parliament of Flies. Market of Hungers with its spires and its sigils. Is it a parody of the bazaar? Today flies fill its arcades. The Merc folds, visit the shop tabs. I didn't know I could move this. You learn something new every day. The flies will caress you with their wings. Hurry up and purchase something. We can sell fuel to get nothing. Because that seems fair. Compile a port report. It won't be entirely straightforward. The streets won't lie straight, and the ink freezes whenever you look away from the inkwell. To record the Republic's events, it's like trying to sing wax or believe water. You do what you can. The third paragraph buds eyes. The date is fundamentally wrong. The full stops bite. You do what you can. We have lost one of our pages. And we now have one tale of terror and one memory of distant shores. Both of which will come in handy. I don't recall ever coming to this particular spot before. Granted, as I said, it has been a while. I don't recall most things about this game. Also, what time? Okay, yeah. We've been going for about an hour. So I really should be putting the link out here in a minute. When I'm less concerned with sailing. What is it? Oh, that's gonna hurt us. Gonna sound the all clear, even though it's probably not. Hey, is that hell? Because that looks like hell. Hodgerton's Bluff. Did not mean to go into full power there. Discovered the Dawn Machine. Grand Geo to some distance to the northeast. Oh my goodness, a glorious dreadnought. Can we just not, please? Whoa, hey. Hang on. Only available while docked. Okay, that's unfortunate. Can I sail into that, or will that kill me? I'm not gonna risk it. Waves slap the side of the ship. Far below, something moves. Of course it does. You don't see anything? Leave us alone. We want nothing to do with you. At least we've sort of gotten away. We're working on it. I bet they're faster than we are as well. Oh, I just noticed. Full power, beware, your engines will occasionally explode. Lovely. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong damn button. I want to turn the light on, not full power again. Oh well. Might have wasted a bit of fuel there. The Carnelian Coast. Far to the south, the Neath Roof glimmers above the Mountain of Light. Discovered Rollius Bluff and is Port Carnelian. Fed the crew. Oh yeah, I should sound the all clear. Probably wouldn't hurt. London's first undersea colony sweats under a blanket of southern heat. To the right of the dock, the sapphire mines yawn. To the left, the governor's house stands prim as an Elderwick mansion. Behind lies the fungal jungle, most ghostly in white and violet. Murgatroyd's Imperial Tea Shop. If only I had 20 echoes. Call it Heart's Cross House, where the governor administers this distant fleck of Her Majesty's empire. The governor is very, very busy. An attaché offers you a bowl of sugared puffballs and explains the work of the governor Or that does... Mother... An attaché offers you a bowl of sugared puffballs and explains the work the governor does among the natives. Gotta keep them happy, what? After all, they are tigers. I like it. Ooh, 24%. That's not my favorite odds. How about we don't? Shops. Can we trade anything? Nope. We don't even have any supplies to sell. We don't have anything. We just have fuel. After that, we're fucked. Hang on. What is this Invictus token? How will I know? Show me the hold. What is this Invictus token? You are in unforgiving mode with no save slots besides the basic autosave. Okay, but what does that mean? Alright, I'm going to take a second to put the link out one more time. While I'm at it, I might as well Google the Invictus token. Find out what the hell it actually is. Okay, apparently, according to what I'm finding, I think it's pretty much just bragging rights more than anything. So I guess with that in mind, I shouldn't be too worried about it. But that said, I'm going to go ahead and put the link out one more time. Alright, and as usual, if you spot the link on Twitter, consider giving me a retweet if you don't mind. See if we can get a few more eyes in here. And as always, follow me on Twitch if you're not already. And if you don't mind, if you like what you've seen so far and you want to help support the streams, you're feeling a little generous, consider checking out patreon.com/EerieEmily. Where $3 and up will get your name right off in a live stream. So big thanks, as always, to Jenna, Cubby, and Alex for their contributions. And those things, I fear, are probably going to be hostile. Because most things that move in this game are hostile. Discovered the Librarian's Grotto. Okay, if I was smart, I might be better off going back to London. What the hell happened there? Discovered Booble's Thicket. The air trembles, a breath of change passes. Still not entirely sure what that means. The crying heights where the blue prophets call the names of those about to die. I bet one of them is mine. And that'd be my phone. So give me just one moment, friends. I apologize. Alright, apologies for that, everybody. That was my mom. Figured that I should probably pick up. Alright, this area is well lit. Discovered Crying Heights. Hooray! Suddenly this area is not so well lit. Discovered Andromeda's Rocks. Hey, is that an ocean tornado? Discovered Becker Bight. Killing wax wind blows from the south. Engines labor. Sailors cry out and fall. So it's maybe not quite a tornado, but still very dangerous. Discovered Port Eddy. Where? Still nothing within the Seabat's range. Back into the wax winds! I know the crew is hungry. What do you want me to do about it? Your crew groans with hunger. Your crew needs provisions. You can tighten your belts, but bad things will begin to happen. This card will remain available as long as hunger is over 50. Don't let hunger reach 100. Well, we can't turn cannibal. We don't have any soup. We don't have any strange catches. Don't have any live specimens. So I think we're all just gonna drown. Or not drown, but we're gonna die of hunger. Suppose with that in mind, maybe having a full crew isn't always the best idea. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment, then fades. Still nothing within the Seabat's range. We're all going to die. But again, I think we came into this knowing that was how this was going to end. Discovered Rubenak Grotto. We're running out of fuel. We're out of food. Starvation walks the ship. Day by day, you all grow weaker. Each sip of fresh water is carefully rationed. Sailors squabble over scraps of leather. Each morning, bodies are found stiff and cold. Why are there two different options to consign their bodies to the sea? You are past the edge of desperation. They have died, you will live. The higher-minded or less hungry crew lock themselves away. You and the less scrupulous stalk the ship's corridors, gathering the emaciated remains of your once fellows. It's not what you'd call good eating, but it'll make a sustaining stew. Gained 5 terror. And gained 1 menace, unaccountably peckish. And off we go. Oh good, more music. This isn't the time for a rousing speech, but quiet word here and there will help. I failed, and gained more terror. Perhaps you shouldn't have made that joke about boiled bat. Sailors take their superstitions seriously. A carmine tint to the waves. We're approaching Adam's Way, where flows the mountain's blood. Glassy chop of dark water, the ironclad are feet at the hatchway. Hang on for a moment. Alright, yes. On a bed of monumental ruins, warehouses and way stations of shroom timber rise. Hello, hello, Thur. Welcome to the stream. I think you're, I don't think, I know, I can clearly see you're the first person who's actually said anything today. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Hope you have a good time. Near Adam's Way. All ships that approach Adam's Way are intercepted by the gracious, the Presbyteriate's splendidly head-dressed coast guards. A quaint but inviolable tradition governs entry. You must tell them one of 3 stories. In return, you will be permitted to spend a single day in the port. Kira, put your tail down. I can't see through you. And you're standing on the mouse. Why are you being a butt? Oh, hey. I guess there must be more of a delay in the stream for some people than for others, because I thought we were past the cannibalism bit. Kira, please, what are you doing? Thank you. Good girl. Okay. Why are foreigners only allowed to spend a single day in Adam's Way? For your own protection, one of them explains kindly. Unsafe. The soil of the Elder Continent is dangerous to incomers, they claim. Those who linger can contract unfortunate conditions. Hysteria, rapture, animescence. And the rumors that Presbyterate law offers no protection to foreigners after dark, errant nonsense. Alright, a tale of a city recently fallen. The gracious are always eager for news from London. A new day. Is their interest strategic, or do they just enjoy hearing about London's miseries? Regardless, they permit you to dock. The day has just begun. In the town square, a yellow-robed priestess plants a seed in a bed of black soil. No sooner has she patted down the soil than a tiny shoot pokes forth. By mid-morning, it will be a sapling. By lunchtime, a budding tree. By the evening's end, it will wither and fall. You must be back on your ship before then. To the south, the Elder Continent and the 72 cornucopian kingdoms of the Presbyterate. You know what? I don't care if it's missing an out. I'm gonna say the Presbyteriate. Are the stories true? Rivers of honey, castles of ivory? Who can say? Foreigners, that's you, are forbidden from the interior. The closest most get is Adam's Way, a shouting, feasting, thieving riot of a port. Alright. Let's see what we can get. How would we construct a port report, I wonder? Alright, let's try listening to a storyteller. Oh, that's how we got the port report. Ignore the gaudy entertainments intended to defraud visitors. Pass the street hawkers, they will only tell you what you want to hear. Shun the tavern gossip, most of which is fabricated by the Mithridate office, the Prester's propagandists. Climb the stairs cut into the hill, sit at the foot of the bee-capped stone columns. They will shield you from the southern mountain heat. Be quiet, listen. Old storytellers share the shadow. The Prester is on the verge of declaring the Dawn Machine a blasphemy. London's bureaucracy is riddled with the children of the Thief of Faces. An expedition of foreigners recently put to shore to the west, then went south in search of the garden. They were discovered and given to the Red River. An avuncular broker has a commission His client has a task of modest but scriptural significance. He is conducting interviews. He meets you on the balcony of a shoreside coffee house. His handshake is effusive, his smile and cummerbund are abroad. He urges you to squares of sticky baklava and a tiny glass of black coffee sweetened with a sprig of mint. I trust you don't mind answering a few questions, he asks, opening a notebook, to ensure we're on the same page, so to speak. The interview is scandalously personal. What business does he have to ask such things? Okay, yeah, I have secrets. I can't lie. I only have a 15% chance of success. That's not worth it. So I guess I'll give up a secret. He blinks in surprise. Goodness, I must admit, I expected you to lie. Never mind, never mind. Knowing you as well as I do now, he studies his notebook, too embarrassed to meet your eye. I think we can do business. You may accept the broker's commission in Adam's way. Why didn't we just do that to begin with? He orders a plate of figs soaked in honey. Tell me, what do you know about the disciples of the Thief of Faces? Or snuffers to children and Londoners. Awful creatures. Eat candles, steal faces. Erasing them is a sacrament. An associate of mine recently found one in Port Carnarvon. Pardon me. But before he could expose it, he disappeared. Maybe the snuffer got him. Or perhaps one of the port spies. The place is stuffed with them. Your commission is to root out Port Carnelian snuffer. Snuffer. There's an N there. Capture it. Bring it back here. I'd like to ask it a question or two. He pops a fig into his mouth. Catch a nut that falls from the tree of a single day. Picking them from a branch is forbidden, but fallen ones are useless. You need to intercept it between bough and ground. That's a matter of luck. Sure, let's try it. The branch is too far, the nut too small, your hand too slow. When it strikes the paved square, the nut bursts into brief, pointless life. Thread-like shoots squirm out, groping for water. Desperate roots claw at a crack in the stone. It's no good. Its strength spent, the shoot browns, stiffens, and expires. We can attend a funeral feast? Bleh. I don't think we have much time left. Yeah, let's go to the feast. Why not? A public square, a gathering of the bereaved, uncannily cheerful. A table shining with cutlery, white china plates, tall glasses. You move closer for a better look. The replete occupy lofty positions in the Presbyteriate's military. Despite their sanguinary past, they dine with the Prester and send their children to be educated at London's university. However, they maintain their tradition of eating their dead. The feasts are held in public. Here, in a broad square, stretches a splendid table. The departed was only a distant relative, some great aunt or second cousin, and then the atmosphere is jolly. Servants carry the deceased over in steaming joints, cooked to perfect pinkness. A stately mourner stands, already wobbly from wine. Shall I carve? If our menace of unaccountably peckish was up to 5, we could be a guest of honor. We can hurry away. We can steal scraps from the table. We can observe, or we can accept an invitation. Well, you know what? It would appear that our hunger is beyond 50. Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to accept their invitation. See if that helps. You make polite conversation with a half-deaf aunt. The cuts that reach you are lean but still pink, still succulent. You clean your plate. Afterwards you are given a keepsake, a knob of bone engraved with the date. You accept it with good grace. Is that one of your crew among the gawkers, watching you with horrified eyes? How dare you judge me? You ate one of your friends earlier. Oh, we gained 2 terror, 1 memory of distant shores, another lamentable relic. The tree of a single day cracks and leans. It's time to return to your ship. You know what? I'm going to press on. I'm going to try to get this Presbyterian adventuress. A tall woman in a salt-caked Royal Navy uniform is methodically shooting giant land snails off a chunk of fallen statue. She lines up another shot. Engage the officer. Afternoon, madam. Looking for a gunnery officer? I'd like to help you blow up monsters if you'll have me. The adventuress is a gunnery officer who increases iron and veils. Welcome aboard. Oh, hello, Captain. Is this one of yours? I had to knock her about a bit. She didn't like taking orders from foreigners. Still, we're good friends now. The adventuress claps the black-eyed sailor on the back. Oddly enough, they do seem to be friends now. Appoint your new officer by dragging her from the officers tab to her slot at the top of the screen. Do this in port, not at sea, or you may unsettle your crew. Return to the ship. The gracious comb the streets, ushering visitors politely back to dock. That's all for now. Alright, to the officers tab. There we go. And there we go. Now we have a gunnery officer. If we speak to you, she can increase our iron. Oh, okay, yeah. Obviously we would need food to invite her to dine. Lost 1 secret, gained 1 iron. While we're at it, speak to our doctor as well. Increase our hearts. And now, we shall leave. No idea where we'll go. We have no fuel. Or next to no fuel. We've entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. Well, it's a good thing there is no foe to see. Oh, well, thank you for coming, Thur, even if it wasn't for very long. Glad to hear you enjoyed yourself, and I hope to see you again next time. Or another time, anyway. You go ahead and you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon, whatever time it is in your part of the world. Okay, let's see here. Plates are empty, cups are dry, your crew's loyalty is less certain by the day. Promise them that if they cross you, they'll never see their homes again. You have a slightly higher chance of succeeding in this one, so why not? I mean, it's not entirely incorrect. They're probably never going to see their homes again anyway. We succeeded! Hurrah! When you've done, there's absolute silence from the crew. The engines roar below. The ship surges on. Dismiss, your first officer growls. You've gained 2 terror. Beast, you will not draw lots. You will pick one by hand. I suppose that's our best option. Lost 1 crew and 50 hunger. Gained 10 terror. Perhaps I should have read that whole thing. I saw the phrase cannibal acolytes. We have the cannibal taint. Oh, that amuses me for the wrong reasons. This little voyage of ours is going to end very badly very soon. Hang on. Discovered Dark Griffin Straits. Only living ships may dare Adam's Way and survive. Your hull shudders and crackles as the water grips it. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. You know what? Screw it. Can we go into Dark Griffin Straits? No? I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. Way upstream, they say only the captain of a living ship can dare the waters of Adam's Way, but they've never met you. The mountain's blood, upstream, up the Red River to the continent's heart. With every mile the red is deeper, your ship groans like calving ice. I have a 22% chance of success. And I failed. My hull quality is gone. We're all dead. Blue prophets cry the names of those about to die. This morning, the name they cried was yours. At noon, your chief engineer begins to pace the deck, chanting in the tongues of the Elder Continent. He refuses to return below. At 4 o'clock, by the ship's chronometer, the ship begins to speak to you. It apologizes for what will happen next. Only you can hear it. At 7 o'clock, the engine bursts like a heart. The hull shatters. You are lost in the tides of the mountain's blood, stained and avid. Your bones will grow in the muds of the river shore. Slip beneath the waves. Perhaps you'll be remembered in song. Your first captain has died. Don't worry, these things happen. Explore boldly with your next captain. Choose a legacy to preserve something for your next captain. I don't think I have anything to... Oh, Warrant of Redemption. Okay, let's see. I think mirrors is the one that I need, or the one that I would like anyway. So that'll be my legacy, I suppose. Achievement unlocked, pupil. Alright, once again, a natural philosopher. Now, this time we're seeking fulfillment. Why not? Madam, of course. Always madam. Now, I suppose we ought to choose a different look for this one. Yeah, why not? Choose your name. Okay. Hergledurgle. Christine! Always like that name. What is this labyrinth of tigers? It is open under the patronage of London Zoological Society to cautious visitors for educational purposes. Here you may see the devil apes of Far Mandalay, the thing in the mirror, the Cantagaster's children, the gargantuan cave snake, the inhabitor of wolves, the hybrid fiend. NB, the management recommends that you arrange your exit well before closing time. Oh, he can't exactly do anything here. Still, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. Can we get our passenger? Yes, bound for Venderbite. She embraces you. I'd kiss you, but my beloved is prone to jealousy. We were parted, but the ancient captains at Venderbite will know where she is. Alright. So, we've been going for going up on 2 hours now. Admittedly, a bit closer to an hour and a half, really. But, since our first captain has died, I think that, we might go ahead and call it a night, or call it quits for now. So, with that said, thank you all for coming. Hope you had a good time. I certainly enjoy having you here. You can follow me on Twitch if you're not already, if you like what you saw today. Follow me on Twitter at EerieEmily if you want to keep up with whatever crazy, silly, goofy, cute stupid stuff that I decide to retweet. Pardon me. Of course, you can check out patreon.com/EerieEmily if you really like what you saw and you're feeling particularly generous, want to help support the streams. $3 and up will get your name right off in the live stream. So big thanks, of course, to Cubby, Jenna, and Alex for their contributions. But with all that stuff out of the way, hope you all have a magnificent afternoon, and I will see you next time. Bye for now, everyone.